Hello.
Hello.
Welcome back.
Hello.
Welcome
Welcome.
back to the Swifters podcast,
The Swifters
the
podcast.
weird middle ground between Swifties and normal people.
The incredibly strange middle ground that would have somebody walking away very quickly if you ever tried to explain it to them on the streets of Manhattan.
The hardest podcast to explain to your friends.
The only podcast you'd ever have to explain to your friends, frankly.
This is true. Honestly, we've been trying to get this episode recorded for a good week and a half now or something.
Yeah, a good week and a half. But I've been I've been a very critical part of school and stuff. So,
Yeah, and it's nearly winter break for me as well, so...
I mean, it's literally winter break for me. Do you hear that in the air? Do you smell that? It's the smell of eggnog and jingle bells. It's Christmas time.
I didn't know until a few years ago that people didn't like eggnog.
People don't like eggnog? I think I knew that, actually.
Yeah, but, personally, it was just, a sweeter milk to me growing up that only came around during Christmas time. And I drank a lot of fucking milk as a kid.
Oh, wow.
And I can attribute that to the fact that my grandfather told me that if I drank a lot of milk, I would grow taller. And he was measure me against the wall and be like, or just measure, or put his hand up and be like, looks like you're growing taller. I've been drinking a lot of milk.
A quite scientific,
Look, this man was alive during World War II. He's got that World War II. He was born in the Great Depression. This man has the knowledge of the forgotten times.
That's crazy. He needs to. I think. Is that lost wisdom that we've been denied? Drinking milk, or telling your grandchild to drink milk and then judging their height, just eyeballing it, being like, "Oh, you're getting so big because you're drinking that milk."
We've really strayed from the fun grandparents.
It's true. We need to return to tradition.
Not fun grandparents anymore.
All my grandparents are getting a lot older and getting sadder and complicated.
Oh, you want to talk about that? My grandfather is going to turn 92.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and my grandmother died this year. But my mom's parents are both 81, I think. I might be a bad grandchild, but they're 80 or 81. They turned 80 fairly recently. And they're still very active, quite frankly. I have old grandparents because I have old parents, which is kind of weird growing up.
My parents are normal aged, I think.
Yeah, how old are yours?
Around 50.
Yeah, mine are 55 and my dad's gonna be 60, or 56 and my dad's gonna be 60 this year.
Oh my god, that's crazy.
On the 29th.
Oh wow, that's brutal.
It's so insane. My dad was 43 or 42 when I was born. And in fairness, he was married one time before, and had a child before, so it's not like he was just getting around.
Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. He played a complete playthrough beforehand.
Yeah, it's just
your new game plus.
There's definitely more of a generational gap when you have older parents, though.
Yeah, I think. Certainly, it makes the grandparents a whole lot older.
And it makes you kind of like the odd duck out in school, in elementary school, because everybody has the fun 30-year-old parents. You're like, yeah, my dad's 45.
That actually is kind of crazy.
It is. It really is. Well, my parents,
Gotta love.
You know, no shade, no shade.
No shade to the parents.
But
speaking of parents, I was actually explaining to my mom how she inspired the Swifter podcast name.
You talked to her about it.
I did.
Is she an active listener?
She's not an active listener. I had to tell her today that it even existed.
No, that's fair. Hey, you never know though. You could have sparked an interest.
I could have sparked an interest. I mean, I think I definitely did, because she just has any interest in anything I do.
That's a real love that for your mom.
And that's all the rest. That's all the Swifter lore we're gonna give at the moment.
Yeah, we've gone really off topic really quickly.
It's true.
Not that we ever were on a topic to begin with.
There literally is no topic for the Swifter podcast that would make us be on topic. It's all just one farce.
It's all tangents.
It's all tangents. We should call ourselves if we had any self-awareness, we call ourselves the Tangent Podcast, but
it's just our tagline is "Oops, all tangents." Okay, speaking of tangents, big Swifter news.
Oh yes.
Specifically Taylor Swift.
Oh yes. Taylor Swift is Times
Person of the Year 2023.
That's actually kind of crazy. I don't know why they would do that.
It really is. I don't know how they came to that conclusion.
I mean, it's not even like her drops were all that gas. I feel like it
was more like the tour.
The tour
more than anything.
The tour was fine.
Did she really do much else this year? Like, being totally real.
She dated a football player now. I mean.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, I guess she like has stayed on everyone's mind, but I don't see how 23 is a particularly unique year for Taylor. I mean, I feel like she's been kind of like on a hot streak since like 2020.
How do we feel about Maddie Healy now being added into the title of Time Person of the Year?
Oh, that doesn't surprise me, to be honest. I mean, Hitler was the Time Person of the Year once, so I mean, arguably.
I think about that sometimes, and I'm like, how did that happen?
I think the Person of the Year used to take up a much different space in culture.
It was more objective. It was more like this person had the most impact on the year.
Well, I think Trump actually got Time Person of the Year a couple years ago.
This is true.
It arguably still is that. I guess it speaks to how everyone else has flopped in 2023, that Taylor Swift is literally the most interesting person.
That is definitely... It could be debated, I think, definitely. Let's address some of the some of the statements made in this.
Oh, yeah, okay. Not only the decision to make Taylor Swift is baffling itself, but the actual article is bonkers.
I've seen excerpts. I haven't read the full thing. This is like off the cuff first reaction to the full thing. I mean, if we're gonna get into it.
We can get into it.
She sits in the rarefied company alongside Elvis Presley, Michael Jackson, and Madonna. Has the songwriter been compared to Bob Dylan, Paul McCartney, and Joni Mitchell?
You know, I actually I'm gonna take a little responsibility for that, because I definitely have compared Taylor Swift to Bob Dylan in the past.
Like, I think from like you can say that. It's just like, this is a really high wave to be speaking of them, and I guess like she is Person of the Year, but it's just crazy. She is now officially a billionaire, and there is a tweet that was like, she's the first ethical billionaire, and somebody was like, look at those CO2 emissions from the private jet.
Oh, it's true.
I mean, you don't get to be a billionaire by doing all charitable things.
What's the one Oh, this is the one quote that I think got the most heat. Um,
The Reputation quote.
no, it's well, we can get into that, but
Oh, wow.
standing in the arena, it's not hard to understand why this is the biggest thing in the world. Beatlemania and Thriller have nothing on these shows,
Oh,
says
God.
Swift's friend and collaborator Phoebe Bridgers. What was Phoebe cooking?
She is not cooking. I love that woman dearly, but she is not cooking
We
in
love
any
Phoebe
way.
Bridgers, but this is an insane take. One, Thriller never had a tour. Two, Beatlemania wasn't
the worst Phoebe Bridgers take of all time.
Well, it has to be. I can't think of any other Phoebe Bridgers takes.
I don't think she's had quite this level of like an objectively bad take before this.
Beatlemania, it was not it wasn't a tour. It wasn't the Beatlemania tour. It was like
Beatlemania and Thriller were like
it was
generationally unique in that like diverse groups of people flock to these shows, like insane amounts of people. Absolutely absurd.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that absurd amounts of people don't show up to Taylor Swift concerts, but I think that's going too far.
Well, to me, this whole thing is just—it's like even with the previous quote being like, she's been compared to Bob Dylan and Joni Mitchell, and she stands among Elvis and Madonna. I feel like there is this need, this instant like reaction to compare her and equate her to things that have happened in the past. And I mean, honestly, she might be as big as those things in the past. She might be bigger. She might not be as big at all. But honestly, I feel like it's even more of a disservice to compare her to people who have already been famous. Because I feel like, why can't Taylor Swift be her own sort of thing?
Like her, sorry, it discounts her individuality.
Exactly. And I think Taylor Swift does have unique things going for her.
Yeah, it sets a standard that there has to be a reference point.
Yeah, but I mean,
to some degree, we are in uncharted territory.
We're arguably in uncharted territory with the kind of music she makes.
And this current era.
Yeah, totally.
Oh my god, era. Did not mean to make that a pun, but
the Taylor Swift era. There is another. Yeah, there's lots of this.
Kanye VMAs mentioned.
The Kanye VMAs mentioned the whole.
Like, this is just a career like recounting at this point.
Yeah.
What are we doing here? We're just reminiscing on her career at this point.
Yeah.
This entire article.
It feels strange because you think this is like the 50 years later article, but
first of the year 2023. This isn't about 20 like this is about her as a person, but not specific to this year.
Yeah, totally. And the Reputation stuff where she goes into like the being like canceled to her last breath or whatever. It feels a little like she's running this narrative in the same way she's been running it since 2017. And
okay, we have our first Reputation quote. I thought that moment of backlash is going to define me negatively for the rest of my life. I'm glad it didn't, because I would not have as like positive of an opinion as I do if she never recovered from that album.
Mm-hmm.
There is a section talking about the theater experience of the writer of the Taylor Swift movie, concert film.
Mm-hmm.
Two dedicated Swifties, sisters, they still reeling from taking a selfie with Taylor, covered in friendship bracelets, Tumblr memes, and the Bleachella. They both tell me their favorite album is Reputation. Get out of here.
The Reputation's my favorite album. Enclave. that's the fandom that honestly brought us to this point, though, which is the thing. Like, she's going to be talking about the Reputation era forever because there's a direct line from Reputation being the best-selling album of 2017 and the Reputation tour being like the best-selling tour of that year as well, going into
how that happened.
Going into the moment, like, Reputation was not a flop. It was actually the opposite of a flop, which is crazy considering, one, how bad it was. Two, how it made everyone kind of hate her for the next couple of years.
She really was, like, really, her reputation took a huge, I know, ironic, right? Like, a huge downturn because of Reputation.
Well, the music just stopped being good, like, point blank. And honestly, it doesn't surprise me that in 2020, she had this, like, massive uptick, and everyone was like, "Oh, Taylor Swift is the best thing in the world," because she dropped 2 amazing albums, right? It's not a coincidence at all. And then everyone was like, listening to her old stuff again, and it's like, "Oh, this stuff is pretty good too." Like, it's about the music at the end of the day.
See, Reputation is what happens when you Max Martin too close to the sun.
Oh, Max Martin way too close to the sun. And Max Martin way too close to the sun, and also Jack Antonoff Into the Desert.
This is also true.
Actually, is there more Max Martin or more Jack Antonoff on Reputation?
I remember it being more Max Martin.
Let me look this up.
And it's very maximalist, so I can see that.
Well, Jack Antonoff can do maximalist.
Oh, okay. I found some of the quotes from the article.
Okay.
About Mastermind after watching Phantom Thread. And I sent that to your like base.
Yeah, I think I sent that to the group chat being like, one of us, one of us, one of us.
Phantom Thread is so good.
I haven't seen it, but...
Oh my god. So you're not one of us?
Well, okay, listen.
No, I'm listening.
No, listen, it's one of us in terms of being an annoying film person.
This is true.
I think Jack Antonoff...
Okay, I found the Reputation quote. It's a goth punk moment of female rage at being gaslit by entire social structure. I think a lot of people see it and they're just like 6 snakes and strobe lights. Now, I will say there is no source linked.
No, I think that quote's real, actually.
I couldn't find it scrolling through the article, but I might just be...
No, it's totally there.
Missing it.
No, it's totally there. It's a goth punk moment of female rage of being gaslit by an entire social... Yeah, no, totally. But she's and then in the same paragraph, she says the other worst quote of this entire article. She says, "I'm collecting Infinity Stones. Gandalf's voice is my head every time I put on a new one. For me, it's a movie now."
Oh yeah, no, I saw that one posted around too.
She's such a millennial.
I wasn't gonna say it because that word did not enter my brain, but she is absolutely a millennial.
Brutally millennial.
I feel like if she started TikTok, all her TikToks would have the millennial pause.
The millennial pause. I mean, I think she was one of the progenitors of the millennial whoop, it was being called in the 2010s. Yeah, this makes sense. Yeah.
This checks out.
Yeah, I mean, I think Taylor Swift is... I mean, I think that's part of some of the reasons why people like her, is that she's, like... she is somewhat earnestly embarrassing. But, like, that's kind of the charm. She's not, like, pretentious in any way.
True.
Which is the kinder way of saying that.
Yeah, So, um, God, where was I going with this? Anyway, the only other Taylor Swift thing I wanted to mention was the Pop Tings account. One of those accounts on Twitter.
Okay.
Posted that tweet. There's a 12% chance Taylor Swift is pregnant before March. Now, this is not true. This is a gambling website. So it's 12 cents versus 88 cents, basically. And here's the crazy part. Not only was this a horrible tweet and shows how stupid these accounts are, apparently the Twitter community knows says it's a paid ad.
What?
You cannot pay me money to post that.
It was a paid ad. Is it still up?
It is still up. I can send you it. It is still up.
Wait, send that to me.
Absolutely insane. The things people do for money.
Oh my gosh. There's a 12%
You're
chance.
seeing this?
This is an ad made to promote betting site Polymarket. Oh my gosh.
Insane.
What? I mean, that's not the money you want to put on, though. You want to put it on, no, right? Because there's an 88% chance.
Speaking of Twitter, Elon Musk added a new little AI thing, Grok.
Oh my gosh.
Which is already intelligent enough to hate him.
Yeah. There is a thread going off on it was famous dipshit Matt Walsh.
I've seen some I bookmarked a full post about it. Yeah, Grok is incredibly based.
Grok is based. I will say that when I first saw him, I was incredibly confused because, I'm on Twitter for desktop, and then I look over, and I just see a new tab that says Grok.
Yeah, Grok. I use it on my phone, so I do not have it, unfortunately. But it's debunking racist myths, anti-Semitic myths, immediately.
I wonder what its deal is. I wonder if
Quote from Grok: "Gender is indeed a social construct." Based
Grok. I wonder what data they're training Grok on. Because if it's Twitter, I mean that's kind of funny. Because it's it's taking all the long paragraph leftist memes talking about how gender is a social construct and stuff.
Grok is absolutely making points to Grok saying, "Plus, if Jews really did rule the world, don't you think they'd do a better job of making sure there wasn't so much anti-Semitism?" Just a thought. Go off, actually.
That's crazy.
Bestie, please go off more.
If that's real, there's no way Grok isn't training directly off of Twitter, because that's a level.
There's no way Elon Musk doesn't shut this shit down for repairs or something in a week.
I can't believe Grok is woke. It's crazy.
I can't believe he's been infected with the woke mind virus.
The woke mind virus. I can't believe Elon Musk literally has 0 children that don't hate him.
So true. It's so crazy how they can't get the Cybertruck to pass. How the Cybertruck could probably be easily destroyed, and how the self-driving cars never pass the driving test. I'd say you have more of a chance of Tesla self-driving cars hitting civilians than Taylor Swift getting pregnant by March. Look at Alright. We were engaged in discussions surrounding the movie Frozen the other day.
Oh, yes.
In a group chat, and I realized it has literally been 10 years since Frozen came out.
I think it's been more than 10 years.
Nobody talked about the 10-year anniversary either.
I don't.
which is crazy because people still talk about the movie.
Well, I think that it's hard to think about the fact that it is an old movie, like an old movie at this point, because we like to pretend
Also,
that people born in 2013 weren't 10 years old.
Oh God. Yeah, it's a scary thought. But like we were born in like the years that like we have memories of being children when this came out.
Yes.
And it was a very interesting time.
It was kind of vibes, I can't lie. I feel like watching Frozen as a kid, just like being there for Frozen to pop up. Vibes. It was good vibes. I have to say, I don't know if the iPad kids are gonna have similar feelings around Encanto. I can't lie.
Yeah, I wasn't feeling Encanto as much as I wanted to.
You know what I'm saying? Like you don't go to a 6-year-old and you're like, we don't talk about, and they're like, Bruno, no, we don't talk about, like that's not gonna happen. But everyone was singing "Let It Go," "Love's an Open Door." Do you want to build a snowman?
Was there really a Hans betrayal moment in Encanto?
There is not, okay? Because there
was no gag.
Everyone loves each other in Encanto, okay? Frozen got the drama.
Damn, I hate love. I love Scandinavia.
Love sucks. Okay? French fries.
Scandinavia hate each other, and it's always cold. Best country.
It's always cold.
Or best region of the world.
You look at Frozen, the alcoholism apparent. Okay? Okay, you got.
No, that is brave. That is brave.
You got the Tangled girl.
From Germany.
You got the Tangled girl Easter egg in the one crowd scene.
Oh yeah. And then the
I can't believe
can we talk about how much of a banger the soundtrack is though? That is the one point I'll give them full credit for. It is catchy as shit.
The soundtrack slaps. I'll say for sure.
Opening with like the miners with Frozen Heart is so hard.
But you can't forget the right before the miners. You got that na 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 hey ya nas.
Oh my God, it's so raw.
So raw, such a statement. And then you have the miners. People hate on that song, but they're wrong.
Really, who hates on that song?
A lot of people. They think that it's irrelevant to the plot, but it sets the tone. Incredible.
It literally is like the encapsulation of like what it's foreshadowing.
It's foreshadowing. And then the plot.
You want them to tell you it in more clear words.
Exactly. And then the exposition song. Do you want to build a snowman?
It's literally called fucking Frozen Heart.
Literally.
Do you want to build a snowman? Good memory. It's very cute. That's probably the clearest memories of watching because no matter how long you put Frozen on for, or parents did as a child, you always at least got to that point.
Oh, for sure. I mean, Frozen's crazy. That song is crazy, actually, because the parents die, like, right in the middle of it.
Yeah, they really just die, and it becomes sad, and you're like, oh, shit.
They literally kick the bucket right in the middle of, right between the second and the third verse. And then you hit the third verse, and it's, like, solemn. And then it's like boom, hits you fresh for the first time in forever.
It's for the first time in forever is so good.
It's great.
Good duet.
Great duet. I do like I like the counterpoint, like when they when they sing at the same
time.
When
it's flipping back between them.
Yeah, for sure. They redo it again.
I have a very guilty pleasure for.
Love is an Open Door is great.
I think it's one of the best romance songs that has been in like a popular Disney movie. Hot take. Even though, the whole thing at the end. For what it's worth, I think Anna's just very charismatic.
Yeah. And I think honestly on rewatch, I feel like the twist isn't even that hard to like come at because I feel like what's his name
Just as a kid, you're like so gagged.
Because in the song, he's like, we finish each other's, and then she says sandwiches. That's obviously, and then he was like, that's what I'm gonna say. That's obviously not what he was going to say. He was obviously going to say sentences because everyone would say sentences. But
I think it's the fact that he's so callous about it. I think it wouldn't be as effective if they didn't sell it as hard as they do.
I think they really do sell it. I think
Disney so does not want to commit nowadays.
For sure. They don't even want to commit. They didn't even want to commit in the sequel when they made the villain colonialism.
Oh God, yeah, you're right. I don't remember much of Frozen 2, I'll be honest. I watched it for the first time last year, I think, because I had avoided it because I was so over Frozen hype by 2019. And I watched it in 2022. It was like, it's alright.
What's crazy is that Frozen feels like
very confused.
Frozen feels like a product of like only a couple years ago. But since Frozen 2 came out like right before the pandemic, Frozen 2 feels longer ago than Frozen 1.
I feel like relative to the current time, I think you're not wrong on that. Because 2019 was just like right before everything fell.
Everything fell.
It was apart. Like everything was getting $1 billion and shit.
Yeah.
Honestly, kind of great for movies that year, but
yeah, I feel like Frozen 2 is a dubious pitch in any universe.
Yeah, it only would have gone through because Frozen 1 made $1 bajillion.
Oh yeah, $1 bajillion, and because like
$1 trillion.
Because like why are you making a sequel to a musical? Like they did it before, but they like shunned and exiled them off to direct to DVD. Like only children are watching these movies.
It's unique in that regard.
Yeah, it's like a theatrical Disney musical sequel.
A theatrical release.
Although it's arguably direct to DVD quality, but that's just my opinion.
I think it's the right. See, I think the major difference is Frozen is confident in what it's doing. It has a very clear image of what it is, even if it's not perfect. Frozen 2 is just very confused.
Yeah.
It doesn't know what it wants to be.
It feels like it decided like halfway what it wanted the plot to like 2/3 the way into the movie it decided what the plot was going to be.
It's just very aimless most of the time. Yeah. Which is unfortunate.
And the villain is colonialism, guys. Colonialism. Did you know
don't get it. Smart. Guys, Disney movies aren't smart like this. I don't get it.
Guys, Frozen 2 is actually pretty clever.
A Disney movie, okay?
Don't hate on Disney movies, okay?
So Let It Go. It's not my favorite off of the soundtrack. I think it is good. But the visuals. The visuals.
Frozen, Let It Go is a song that I'm deeply impressed by in just terms of like how tight it is. I
mean, they just let Idina Menzel fucking sing on that song.
For sure. And like just beat for beat, line for line. Let It Go's the purest Let It Go hater only hates that song because it's overplayed and oversang. There's honestly, there's really nothing mechanically or structurally wrong with Let It Go in any facet. It's almost perfect.
Yeah. I gotta say, the Jonathan Groff song, Kristoff is so charismatic in this movie. Top tier Disney guy.
That's the one thing Frozen 2 got over Frozen is a Jonathan Groff song.
Yeah, because the Jonathan Groff song in the first movie clocks in at under a minute. This is Jonathan Groff.
Jonathan Groff. They really got Tony Award nominee Jonathan Groff to sing for 50 seconds in the first Frozen movie.
Insane decision, but I kind of respect the balls to do it.
Well, that's just kind of how confident they were anyway. I mean, look at like the main cast; they're all pretty much Tony. Like, they're all pretty much Broadway alum.
They're very, very well respected.
For sure. I mean, Josh Gad. I mean, he basically just is in his bag for the Olaf song.
This is the good Josh Gad. There's a lot of bad Josh Gad in other movies. This is about as good as Josh Gad will be.
Josh Gad gets misused often, I feel like. They don't
Look, this man has been in way too many pixels for me to safely call him a good actor.
Okay, arguably Pixels is a good performance from him, but whatever.
I just don't like it might just be the material he's given, but
it's easily the material, I think.
I know you really like Olaf. I like Olaf. I don't love Olaf. I think the other character is more interesting to me personally.
Well, I guess that's like fair because he's like the toy character.
Yeah, he's the marketable character, and I just don't love that usually.
But I think he's made a little more interesting in the relationship that Elsa and Anna have like to him. And
that's true. I think I would like Olaf more if they didn't beat the dead horse after the movie came out.
That's probably a big thing.
There's so many shorts with him, dear God.
Yeah, Frozen is definitely Olaf's peak. I don't think of Olaf's Frozen adventure or any of his stuff in Frozen 2.
It's just too much.
It's all too much. It doesn't. He
was better as a big character than the main character.
Yeah, Olaf's stuff in Frozen is Olaf's best.
Yeah. Then Fixer Upper, low-key banger.
Banger.
Underrated.
Underrated. Yeah, people hate it, but they shouldn't because it's a banger. Oh, he's a fan of Fixer Upper.
It's just sweet, honestly. It's funny. I like it.
Yeah.
Demi Lovato, Let It Go.
Talk about the evil Let It Go.
She's not a bad singer, but compared to Idina Menzel, why would you even release it?
Honestly, I don't like Idina Menzel. Honestly, I don't like either, and it's probably for the same reason. Realistically, Idina Menzel and Demi Lovato are incredibly over-singing singers.
This is true.
They lack all understanding and subtlety.
Brings more juice to the voice.
She does, and I don't I think it's well, she's singing like a Broadway song in like a kind of Broadway.
Yeah, I'm not gonna talk the good graces of Idina Menzel. So huge Otani news, huge baseball news.
Yes, Shohei Otani is signing with the Pittsburgh Pirates. $2 million a year, getting that bargain prices for the Pittsburgh Pirates. Let's go, Bucks! 2024 is our year.
Yeah, the funny thing is, his contract with deferred money is actually going to end up at legitimately barely over that.
Yeah, no, totally.
The base contract, the Dodgers, 10 years, $700 million. Absolutely unhinged. And then like $63 million of that a year is going to be deferred. So basically, like, he's letting them spend more money.
I think I have no idea how this contract will end up for them because, I mean, like, it could actually go pretty bad if Shohei Ohtani, like, for example, gets like a freak accident and suddenly the Dodgers have to be paying him like $700 million for like the next 50 years.
Yeah. He could be the next Bobby Bonilla. For the uninitiated, Bobby Bonilla gets paid like $1 million every year on Bobby Bonilla Day because he signed a contract with the Mets with so much deferred money. They keep having to pay him.
That's actually crazy.
And the base.
I wasn't aware of that. Bobby Bonilla, get that bag.
Bobby Bonilla Day. When is that next? July 1st. Mark your calendars.
Mark your calendars. We're gonna have a podcast come out on that day.
We'll have a podcast on July 1st for Bobby Bonilla.
Celebrating Bobby Bonilla.
For the big guy.
Shout out to Bobby Bonilla. Okay.
That's Bobby Bonilla. My favorite news coverage of this signing is the Wolf of Wall Street parody.
Oh yes, I sent that to you, didn't I?
Yeah, I retweeted it. And it ends with like DiCaprio being like, "Is any of this legal?" Now you might be wondering, "Is any of this legal?" Absolutely fucking not.
I think it's probably legal. I mean, they wouldn't do it otherwise.
Yeah, I mean, it's legal. It's just so funny that they just like sign the dude for $7 million a year, and they only have to pay him $3 million.
People have been speculating if there's like any like tax dodging going on. Probably, but it's probably not illegal tax dodging.
This is true.
Honestly, the implication of Shohei Ohtani being at the Dodgers is just it has me struggling. It has me struggling mentally and emotionally. And
looking at Freddie Freeman, like, if you want to talk about guys who were great at their peaks, Clayton Kershaw, got a stacked roster.
A stacked roster, although we'll say,
which makes it more funny if they lose in the first round next year.
They're gonna they're gonna lose in the first round next year. There's absolutely no way.
It's fucking embarrassing.
It's gonna be embarrassing. Ideally they can get better players with the extra Ohtani money.
Dave Roberts is getting voted off the island if they don't make it to the World Series this coming year.
But I mean, there's no reason to believe that any of the guys currently on the Mets, I mean, not on the Mets, on the Dodgers, are like gonna be as likely to turn it on. I mean, you're adding Ohtani, but it's not like he can pitch. Like, you're just adding a designated hitter. So like all the other guys still.
He's only out as a pitcher for this coming year. Then he's back after Tommy John.
That's true. I'm not saying that. I'm saying I'm saying for this next year.
Fairness, he can play the outfield.
He can. He would probably be the best.
He's not a bad fielder.
He's not a bad baseball player at all. But I mean, I think he plays designated hitter most of the time.
Yeah, that's just mostly because of him being a two-way player, though. That's
fair. But yeah, the Dodgers aren't going anywhere. We still stand the Snakes. Retrospectively,
we're smoking that Black Watch.
For anyone, for all of the Swifter podcast enjoyers out there, we root for the Pirates, the Snakes, and the Astros. Okay, those are our guys.
We smoked that Dodgers pack. We smoked that Yankees pack. We smoked that Phillies pack.
It's all true.
Whenever they lose, it is a W for us.
It's a W for us whenever they lose.
Biggest fucking haters on earth.
We're the biggest Dodgers, Yankees, Phillies haters of all time.
Which meant it was a bad week for us, but
it's been a really bad week because Juan
Soto.
Oh my god!
On.
I mean, same thing with the Yankees. The Yankees are also incredibly washed. So
they refuse to rebuild. It is insane.
It's true. They're like, there's been some rumors that we're analytics driven. That's nonsense. We're not analytics driven at all. I don't know.
I'm analytic driven.
I don't know who makes that decision. I don't know who started that rumor. Okay, we actually like eyeball every decision we make, and we never use facts and data to make our decisions over here at the Yankees.
That is so bullshit. They send Michael King over. To be fair, I think in comparison to what the Padres sent over to the Nationals for Juan Soto originally, the Padres kind of lost because they got like a lesser return for Soto than they gave to the Nationals for him.
Well, yeah, I mean that's why they're giving away Soto in the first place.
Because they're losers.
It's true, and by extension,
How do you have that roster and continue to be mediocre?
Continue to be mediocre, and honestly, I don't see. I mean, arguably the only team with like a half decent lineup at the moment is the Rangers, who are also on my bad list, but they have a good lineup. That lineup.
Look, you got Garcia. You got Jonah Heim. You got Corey Seager. Who would have been in that MVP race if he wasn't injured for a bit.
Yeah, I mean, wasn't who has the postseason MVP come out yet?
He cooked so hard. I don't know.
Because I feel like Garcia is like a shoo-in. Because Garcia had like the best, like postseason performance of all time.
Okay, the World Series MVP was Corey Seager.
Okay, that checks out because Garcia didn't play.
That is the second time being World Series MVP though. This man is he's just got it.
Yeah, shout out to Corey Seager, even though
he
plays. Gotta respect Corey Seager, even though he plays for teams that I don't like.
Is there actually like a full postseason MVP?
I think there is. Maybe there is.
There has. I don't think there is though. I can't find anything.
Oh, maybe I made that up.
Okay, Garcia was the ALCS MVP though.
Oh, okay. Yeah, for sure. He was.
So, okay. So on a more broader appeal to our audience of people who generally are not super sports oriented, the new Olivia Rodrigo Tiny Desk concert.
Yes, and a new Lady Tiny Desk concert too.
That too. We won so hard. We won back to back.
That's actually kind of crazy.
We love Tiny Desk concerts here. I found Anderson .Paak through his Tiny Desk concert performance. And he is like one of my favorite artists. So, just good vibes from Tiny Desk concerts. Good crowds.
Yeah. The office crowd. The people working at All Songs Considered are very lively.
Yeah.
And they seem to honestly just care a lot about the people performing. It feels like
even if they never heard of the person in their life, you would not be able to tell.
Yeah, literally never. Literally never. Like there's I assume the people working at NPR All Songs Considered would be aware of Ben Folds, but in the Ben Folds Tiny Desk concert, he takes like recommendations. Like people are like calling out like deep cuts for him to play.
Oh, that's crazy.
Which is like, I don't know. It just shows that they're just a caring group of people there. And the audio engineering on NPR Tiny Desk is next level.
It sounds so good.
They always sound so good. I actually have this
and so many of them have live instrumentation, and hearing that on like some tracks is just like what it needs to sound just perfect.
There's this meme that I made a while ago, but it's always true. I sent it to you.
Oh God, please do. No, you're so right. But in fairness, SNL, like SNL music performances are more of like a, hey, you can come on, do a skit or two and help us draw in some more viewers. Or if you're Sinead O'Connor, you can burn a picture of the Pope.
I don't know. I feel like SNL. I think they are like. I mean, NPR Tiny Desk.
Oh, rest in peace, Sinead O'Connor, by the way.
Oh yes, rest in peace, Sinead O'Connor. I mean, SNL and NPR Tiny Desk are both like. They're both like press appearances. I mean, at the end of the day, like they're there for to promote the album or whatever that they have going on.
Yeah, so, I think Tiny Desk is a more like communal undertaking though, because you're not appealing to like every late night viewer who's like just a normal person. It's a very specific audience, I think.
That's true. Although I wouldn't say that Tiny Desk is like any less mainstream. I mean, the biggest artist in the world.
No, not mainstream, but no, it's just chill.
It is.
You can tell they're much more laid back on that than like SNL or Jimmy Fallon.
But that's kind of the thing, though, that I think kind of makes better performances. Because, I mean, I can't imagine how stressful being on an SNL production is. Like considering all the short turnaround time, and then like the super tight scheduling of like the actual like show itself, versus NPR where it's like, okay, you show up, you wear like a jacket or whatever, and like you played some chill tunes for 15 minutes and then you leave.
It's so much different than SNL or Jimmy Fallon or any of these, like James Corden or whatever, where like there's like a stage performance and there's like a lot of things going on and there's a huge audience. Like of just like a lot of people who probably don't care for you much.
Oh yeah. I think my biggest point of comparison for NPR Tiny Desk has to be MTV Unplugged.
Yeah.
Because
it really is a modern day MTV Unplugged.
Because most of the Tiny Desks are like acoustic, more oriented. Even when the artist makes like mostly like electric or pop stuff.
I think MTV Unplugged still sell those though, mainly because they have like full recorded albums out on streaming.
Yeah, actually, I feel like most MTV Unplugged albums suck, and most NPR Tiny Desk concerts are good. So honestly, even then, NPR Tiny Desk is still kind of outselling.
I'm just saying, without MTV Unplugged, we don't have a Nirvana David Bowie cover.
That's true. That's for sure true.
Hang on, I'm moving away a little bit. I just saw this on my timeline. So apparently Bill Clinton has a new book coming out.
Oh, does he?
And he said apparently Hillary Clinton's 2016 campaign could not sell pussy on a troop train.
What?
And somebody quote retweeted and said, "She's your wife, man." Has Bill Clinton ever not been out of pocket?
Well, when he was in office, he had a hard time keeping in his pants. So, I suppose he's always been a little out of pocket.
Yeah, I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
The deep Arkansas drawl.
Is he from Arkansas?
Is he? Did I just see Arkansas and think that? Oh, no, yeah. No, he's an Arkansasian.
Why did we elect a person from Arkansas as president in the first place? I didn't know.
It was the 90s. It was the 90s. It was a different time.
I didn't know people lived there.
This is fair. It's not the most known place.
It's like Little Rock. It's like Little Rock and then Texarkana, and it's like empty space in between.
Yeah. I think we should finish off talking about our end of the year list. Alright, where do we start? I think I'm gonna start with YouTube videos because they're like the most like kind of niche. Shout out Strange Aeon's Bit of Earth videos. Lucas and I both have watched them and they're so insane.
Oh yeah.
In Defense of Inefficiency from Zoe B. I opened a real life Pokemon gym from Wolfie VGC. Kind of niche. More niche is Snowflame, the cocaine powered supervillain from Hug Beast. F the Police and FD Signifiers Black Conservatism videos. The Logan Paul videos from CoffeeZilla. The Endless Horror of TikTok's historical misinformation from Cowsrow. The Ted Nivison and Eddie Burback Margaritaville videos. And then the entire history of Batman from Alex Lennon. I don't want to add too many YouTube videos. I kept it fairly brief.
I think I included one YouTube video.
You included one, and I didn't want to include that because I knew you had it.
Yeah. The one I included was the insatiable plagiarism in YouTube by H Bomber guy.
Yeah, you probably know what it is. It has like 7 million views by now.
I think a lot more than that actually.
Really, like 10 million by this point.
Over 10, I think. I want to say.
Oh, wow.
I want to say it's like 11.5 million.
Yeah.
I used this. Great video though.
Oh, actually, I made that up. It is 9.9 million.
My source is that I made it the fuck up.
Well, no, my source is that I thought it. Like I thought I saw that it was at 11.5 million.
Rip those though. Anyway.
No, this video is incredible. It's 4 hours long. It's one of the best videos of all time.
Yeah.
They're going to be talking about this like they did Content Cop, but it's going to be a little more deserved, actually.
Yeah, no, seriously. A lot of research done for that video.
It's a video about research.
Oh, and I wanted to shout out the Todd in the Shadows kind of counterpart to that.
Yes, Todd in the Shadows.
It's a Scottie Pippen to the Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
Of completely destroying James Somerton's career.
Oh, totally. I mean, it's a lot shorter, a lot less entertaining.
Shorter as in 2 hours.
I think is it 2 hours?
It's like 1 hour 54 minutes.
Oh, okay. I mean, that's
it is very thorough. Though.
I mean, that's like half as long. Yeah, Todd in the Shadows, also great YouTuber. Listen to his podcast.
He's usually a music guy, but
he is mostly a music guy.
All right, you wanna touch on the other miscellaneous item you had on your list?
Yeah, the Scott Pilgrim Takes Off, the anime.
Yeah, I haven't seen that. I just watched Scott Pilgrim versus the World for the first time.
What did you think?
I really liked it. I thought it was very fun. I watched it with friends too, which kind of influenced it.
It's a good party movie because it's very fast paced, and
100%.
has a bunch of great actors in it. Yeah,
incredibly campy.
Well,
it's very quotable.
Yes.
I had 3 TV shows. I must admit, I did not watch a lot of TV this year, especially not recent TV. I just want to give a shout out to Gen V, the Boys spinoff. I think it's well written. I think if you can bear the usual violence and sexual parts of The Boys, then you'll definitely find a lot to like about it. The Bear season 2, probably my favorite season of TV that came out this year that I watched. Just good shit. Good Italian American television. And Invincible season 2, or at least what came out of it. Because the second half's coming out soon.
Nice. I didn't see any of these.
Yeah, I regrettably don't watch a lot of TV. I try to. It's just it takes a long time to get caught up on shit.
Yeah, I didn't watch anything that I didn't watch anything new that came out this year, TV wise. It was mostly just a lot of Rick and Morty.
And I don't want to put like fucking Succession or something if I haven't watched it, right? Like we don't lie here. Okay, so we were originally going to talk about full music and movie thoughts, but we want to be a little more. We want to, because especially like you and I, we haven't had much free time recently, and you know a lot of stuff has come out recently, so we'll get a little bit more caught up.
Okay.
And we'll look at each other's suggestions definitely, and we will get back with the part 2 to the year-end list next week. I'm gonna shout out, I've been playing the Pokemon Scarlet Violet Indigo Disc DLC because I'm a little person who cannot let go of childhood interests. But I like it.
Nice.
And I have no shame.
I'm gonna shout out Palestine. Free Palestine.
Shout out Palestine. Free Palestine.
Free Palestine. We love to free Palestine over here.
Yeah. If you're still listening, thank you for that. Because we can be a little bit boring, but we try our hardest.
We really do. Well, maybe.
Sometimes.
Sometimes. We could try a little harder. I'll be frank.
Yeah. I want to talk a little bit that I finished I don't know if we talked about this. I talked about this in the Lost episode, as in we scrapped it, but like about writing. I just finished a script for a short film that I'm making.
I'm gonna fly to Pennsylvania right now so I can act in your short film.
Yeah, he'll be my muse, my star. You know, whole thing.
Swifter Media coming out with movies soon as possible.
Already better than Daily Wire, by the way.
Check it out, Swifter Media. We might rename the YouTube channel Swifter Media and put everything we do on the YouTube channel Swifter Media. So check it out.
Yeah, I'm not going to be publishing the short film to any public basis.
Swifter Media is officially not a company.
Mostly because it's going to have people from my real life, and I don't feel comfortable putting their faces out publicly.
That's super valid. Especially since they're not getting paid.
Yeah. We can talk about unionizing the Swifter Media group next episode.
I mean, I feel like we're the only 2 members of Swifter Media right now. Do you vote to unionize?
I'll second the motion.
All right, Swifter Media has now been unionized.
So I will definitely be back with stories of my first short film making experience because it'll be a doozy.
It'll be a doozy.
I'm working on what the people in the business call a shoestring budget.
A shoestring budget may be an
Which is
overstatement.
my own pockets. But hey, you gotta start somewhere.
You literally have to start somewhere.
Yeah. So
when we see
some exciting things on the horizon.
When we see the next generation's version of Rebel Moon being directed by Jenna Swifter, we will have known where she started.
You say that like it's a good thing. Rebel Moon just is at a crisp 25% on Rotten Tomatoes.
I'm confident in the director's cut.
The Snyder cut of his own movie. Would go crazy, not gonna lie.
Man, the Snyder cut of Rebel Moon is so much better than the Snyder cut of Rebel Moon.
No, they're gonna be in such copium mode that they're gonna be like, release the Snyder cut of the Snyder movie produced by Snyder.
Why do they isn't Rebel Moon dropping to Netflix like in a couple weeks? Why are they releasing a bad version of the movie in theaters right before it drops on Netflix?
This is a good question. I want to know why people fixate on such a director. No disrespect to Zack Snyder. I'm not a big fan of his style. I'll be fully honest.
Yeah, he's not great.
Yeah, his visual language is not bad, but the slow motion and the writing and really the everything else.
Oh, totally.
And to each their own, right? I'm gonna judge you if you like Zack Snyder's shit.
I probably will.
I'll judge you based on how you act, actually.
That's valid.
It's so valid, but...
Not gonna lie.
Like, you should not be interacting with the real world.
Okay, we've been trying to end the podcast for like 15 minutes now.
Yeah, we'll end the podcast there. On that cheery note. Yeah, we'll be back next week with our definitive year-end music and movies.
List.
And
the top,
maybe some special.
The top,
maybe some special treats.
Some special treats. Next episode, the top 10 Swifter list. Okay.
The year-end list.
Do you have any words of advice for our listeners?
Words of advice. Words of warning. We are not discounts Siskel and Ebert.
We totally are discount Siskel and Ebert, but I'm gonna take that with pride.
We don't argue enough to be discount Siskel and Ebert.
It's true. We don't hate each other.
They didn't hate each other. They just had very passionate opinions.
It's true. They were it was like the meme, like the no, you can do both. I don't have to choose. It's that guy. It's a podcast. It's a TV show, but both of them are that guy.
I aspire to have the same amount of passion that Siskel and Ebert debated Full Metal Jacket.
Okay, I think that's the end of the episode.
Alright. Now we'll end it.
Free Palestine.
Goodbye. Thank you for watching.
Free Palestine.
If you like it, like the video. If you like it, consider subscribing.
Yeah, subscribe.
Free Palestine.